Hello, welcome folks. I'll be your host today, Trillionaire, aka Trilly. Today I'll be going over the Bankera white paper in detail. It is 27 pages long. Feel free to skip ahead to the parts you were concerned with. I'll leave a few timestamps for important areas in the description box below. Before we begin, if you like this content and you want to see and hear more of it, be sure to show me by hitting the like button, the subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell as well, as some of the coins I discuss can be taken advantage of for just a limited time. If something strikes you as odd in the white paper, don't hesitate to post a comment about it down below. And if you have questions, please ask, and I will answer everyone as quickly as I can. If you do like this content and you want me to continue creating it, show me with a tip to any of the donation addresses below and send me a message indicating you did so I know to shout you out in the next video. Finally, there are a couple helpful links below to Coinbase, a great exchange that allows you to convert your fiat into crypto, and the Bankera website if you'd like to get in on the pre-ICO and show your gratitude for introducing and show me your gratitude for introducing you to this new coin. The pre-ICO is currently taking place. Once they reach a 2.5 billion hard cap on that pre-ICO, or when they get to September 28th, whichever comes first. But right now, it's at about 1.9 billion out of the 2.5 billion, which is about 71% of completion. And the pre-ICO began just a few days ago on August 28th. So looking like their pre-ICO is going to sell out. And depending on this white paper here, I will be deciding whether or not I'm putting my money into Bankera. So let's see here, what else? Cool. Let's get down to the white paper. So as you can see, I've got the Bankera white paper behind me. I'll be reading it aloud for you guys. Executive summary. The potential impact of technological development in finance is one of the hottest topics today. Many startups are trying to revolutionize financial services. However, they mostly focus on a niche and cannot take advantage of economies of scale, which is one of the main advantages enjoyed by traditional banks that may not be as technologically advanced. Bankera plans to achieve the scale to offer traditional and emerging banking products in a technology-driven blockchain-era environment, eventually becoming the one-stop shop for all banking requirements. Bankera is already achieving significant progress as a fintech company and plans to have significant infrastructure in place prior to the initial coin offering, ICO. Already, Bankera has the necessary regulatory and IT arrangements to offer individual international bank account numbers, IBAN, which can accept and make payments in the single euro payments area, SEPA. Bankera is in position to offer competitive foreign currency exchange rates, quick and cost-effective international bank wires, as well as having the Bankera payment card linked to the cardholder's payment account. Bankera is building a digital bank to last, therefore, the focus will be on the scale, elimination of counterparties, and offering core banking services such as savings and loan accounts. To achieve these goals, Bankera will apply for additional banking licenses in key jurisdictions to be able to operate in a spectrum of different fiat currencies and facilitate cross-border transactions without the need for counterparties. Bankera also plans to be a member of key financial networks, such as achieving issuer and acquirer status with major payment card schemes, as well as becoming a participant in payment networks such as SEPA in EU, faster payments in the United Kingdom, and EFT in Canada. In addition to traditional banking products, Bankera will be providing innovative solutions for both individual customers and businesses alike. In a low-cost banking environment, for example, for businesses, Bankera will improve cash flow by extending finance for payment processing against future expected payments, based on historical cash flows and expected payments. For individuals, Bankera will address the age-old problem of clients' savings not keeping up with inflation by creating an investment product linked to a basket of goods that automatically adjusts with inflation. To achieve these objectives, Bankera as a company is to be set up, and in an initial coin offering, ICO will be conducted. The offering will be a virtual currency tokens known as Bankers, BNK. Funds raised by the Bankera will be given as grant towards the development of Bankera as a project. An endowment will be made by operator of Bankera as a product towards Bankera as a company as part of its obligation toward the grant. Endowment payment shall be based on 20% of the transaction net revenue earned by Bankera and SpectroCoin and paid to BNK token holders on a weekly basis. It is up to the discretion of the Bankera to then make payments to the BNK token holders as part of the reward to their contribution towards Bankera, Introduction. We are living in times of digital transformation. The impact of the transformation is clearly seen in how we share information and communicate. There are attempts to digitize many aspects of our lives, especially in the world of finance and banking. Most notably, the advent of blockchain technology has enabled us to digitize money via cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. There are many attempts on foot to apply blockchain technology to revolutionize other areas of finance. However, most researchers focus on transforming only one financial service or product, such as remittances or lending. This trend has emerged because new participants have been nimbler in adopting emerging technologies compared to incumbents who are hampered by legacy systems. However, this competitive advantage that new entrants enjoy is likely to be a short-lived one, as existing banks will use their considerable resources to build the same services to remain competitive or acquire emerging fintechs. The vision of Bankera is different. We are focused on building a bank for the blockchain era, which eventually will become a one-stop shop store for all financial services in the same way traditional bricks and mortar banks are now. We believe that digital means distributed, hence Bankera as a company will issue digital tokens on the distributed blockchain as an initial coin offering, ICO, to allow supporters to contribute to the development of a purely digital bank. The aim of the ICO is not to test a speculative idea, but to provide the capital to enable Bankera as a product to expand its existing services to compete with existing banks as an equal across all areas of operations, including payments, lending, currency exchange, and investments. We encourage supporters to try Bankera services before participating in the ICO. What is Bankera? Bankera is a bank that will be built for the blockchain era using technology to reduce the number of counterparties, thus lowering the cost of banking for the end consumer. We've seen counterparty reduction emerge in e-commerce, where goods are now often purchased straight from manufacturers. In financial services, the trend up until now has seen financial technology companies building their businesses by piggybacking off of existing infrastructure to create better solutions for individual products. For example, remittance companies have emerged simply because they could process bank wires faster in various countries. However, such technologies have created numerous counterparties by being a core participant in financial markets. Bankera can provide many services without the need for such counterparties. SpectroCoin's role. Bankera's founding team already owns and operates a successful cryptocurrency exchange, e-wallet, debit card provider, and payment processor. This product is operated under the brand name SpectroCoin. From day one, SpectroCoin was built with the intention of providing access for customers to a range of cryptocurrencies. However, to remain competitive, SpectroCoin was required to produce a number of products that are seen in traditional banking, such as debit cards, payment processing, international bank account numbers, foreign exchange, and so forth. As such, SpectroCoin has already developed core infrastructure comparable to traditional banks. A natural extension of SpectroCoin is to leverage existing technology to build Bankera, a revolutionary bank for the blockchain era. The introduction of Bankera will create an operational fork. SpectroCoin will remain a leader in providing wallet and exchange services for cryptocurrencies, and Bankera will be a new product focused on efficient payment and banking solutions. Here we have, it's like a little roadmap. February 2013, start of SpectroCoin. June 2014, release of mobile wallets and payment processing. March 2015, issuance of debit cards. August 2017, introduction of IBAN accounts. Early 2018, full support for smart contracts. Looks like in August 2017, introduction of IBAN accounts allows, sees us with the split in between SpectroCoin and Bankera, bank for the digital era. Early 2018, starting to offer a network of cash, bank, and other payment channels. Mid-2018, establishing EU-regulated bank. So in mid-2018, Bankera is going to be formally recognized as a bank by the European Union. One more. All right. The success of SpectroCoin has provided proof of concept for Bankera. What has already been developed will serve as a minimum viable product for Bankera to begin operations. The contribution of SpectroCoin to Bankera will be not only IT and regulatory infrastructure, but also an introduction of Bankera services to 300,000 plus existing clients of SpectroCoin, and share of a SpectroCoin's talent pool of 40 plus blockchain specialists. Most importantly, SpectroCoin will be entitling Bankera token holders 20% from its net transaction value from the first week after start of pre-ICO. Key facts about SpectroCoin. Clients 300,000 and 1,300 plus new registrations every day. Cards issued over 50,000. Average daily volume 500,000 euro dollars. Team members 40 plus. And number 4, our vision 4.1, efficiency first. The financial services industry is moving towards becoming a near perfect market due to constantly lowering barriers to entry and homogeneity of services offered, such as loans do not have different taste or design, only price and terms. To compete in such a market, not only must operations be conducted as efficiently as possible, but it is important to identify and pass through the most optimal solutions, such as the best trade-off, for example, the best trade-off between time and money to the clients. As a result, Bankera will be passing interbank exchange rates to our customers involved in foreign currency exchange, available by using Bankera's payment card, making international transfers or exchanging currency between their accounts. Status of money 4.2. Bankera has identified 3 core trends regarding money in today's environment. First, cash is still the dominant form of money, especially in developing economies, and that will not change within the next decade. Second, electronic and digital money is increasing in popularity. Third, in the nearby future, technology might enable the development and demand for new types of monies. 4.2.1, cash is king. Bankera recognizes that cash is still the predominant form of payment, and Bankera will be active in the cash market. One issue is that Bankera will not have physical branches like traditional bricks and mortar banks. As such, Bankera has a 3-pronged attack to remain competitive in cash. Partnerships with existing providers for cash deposits and withdrawals. Bankera will partner with retail providers who currently distribute cash deposit and withdrawal services. Network of agents. In developing countries where infrastructure to handle deposits and withdrawals is not established, such as South America, Bankera will offer relevant retailers such as news agents or gas stations the ability to be agents for Bankera to handle deposits and withdrawals. Each of these agents will have an account with Bankera to facilitate this. Payment cards. As Bankera will be issuing payment cards, they could be used as an option for withdrawals at most ATMs, available globally when cash is needed. 4.2.2 Electronic and digital money. Bankera will offer money wallets in 22 fiat currencies initially, covering all the major currencies such as the US dollar, the euro, and the Great British pound. In addition, Bankera will also support emerging digital currencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, NEM, and others, ensuring that Bankera will be at the forefront of the emergent cryptocurrency ecosystem. Central banks, like Bank of England, Sweden Central Bank, and European Central Bank, are discussing implementing new forms of digital money. As these currencies emerge, Bankera will be a gateway between these currencies and end users to provide access to these emerging currencies. New types of money. Being at the frontier of innovation, Bankera will aim to solve old problems using new technology and products. One such problem is that consumers in general do not invest their money adequately to keep up with inflation. As a solution, Bankera will pioneer issuing electronic money denominated in baskets, as proposed by Nobel Prize-winning economist Robert J. Shiller. While his idea allows customers to send a traditional fiat currency equivalent to the net worth of a particular consumption basket and the receiving currency, we will extend the idea to offer electronic money denominated as a proxy for consumption basket to capture inflation and allow customers to keep their funds constantly employed. The idea is inspired by In Kiyotaki and Jay Moore, who published an article titled "Evil is the Root of All Money" in 2002, which stated that money could be substituted for some liquid security. Hence, Bankera will offer low-cost ETFs for payments and eventually allow the construction of individual portfolio/basket based on customers' preferences. The idea behind electronic money backed by ETFs is this: a rational person would like to have all their funds invested to be able to maximize potential return. Also, having more capital available for investment should benefit society as a whole, as it is likely to increase economic growth. Hence, assuming zero transaction costs and no volatility, the rational person would keep all his funds always invested and will sell a small fraction of their portfolio every time they need to pay for something, consumption. On the other hand, when a person will receive funds, they will immediately invest these funds, assuming that the payer and receiver are investing in the same asset. We propose that selling and buying of an asset are unnecessary steps, so a transaction of such asset, in our proposed case ETF, would be the most rational solution. Payment processing. Bankera identifies two key issues faced with merchants accepting payments online: fraud and chargeback risk, and capital immobilization due to rolling reserves or long settlement times. Bankera will help its business clients to solve these issues, firstly by providing proprietary Know Your Client and fraud screening solutions, as well as offering incoming payment financing as an alternative for invoice financing. 4.3.1 Know Your Client. Bankera believes that a payment processor is in a much stronger position to facilitate KYC, short for Know Your Client, and fraud detection procedures compared to the receiver, due to the amount of data collected. Hence, Bankera will develop an extension for its KYC and fraud screening technologies to forward relevant information to the receiver, which will be a proactive and preventative approach to fraud prevention and proving compliance. As a result, this solution should reduce the chargeback ratio, in doing so lowering the overall cost of payment processing for our clients. Incoming payments financing. One of the key challenges for fast-growing businesses accepting non-cash payments is capital immobilization. Typically, when a business processes a credit card transaction, 90% is received within 7 days and 10% 6 months after the transaction. This process is known as a rolling reserve, which is a risk management strategy to protect the merchant and its banks from potential loss due to chargebacks. However, it creates cash flow issues for businesses using the service. Bankera will create short-term finance products to bridge this cash flow gap for businesses. As a payment processor, Bankera will have an advantage over banks because Bankera will collect live information about expected incoming payments. This will facilitate Bankera offering credit for businesses secured against expected future cash flows. For example, a company may accept cash payments via Bankera's gateway, and it could take 3 weeks for transactions to settle. However, Bankera could automatically settle this transaction if it was confident that the funds will ultimately be received. This immediate settlement can be done for a fee or interest payment, and the process can be used to reduce or eliminate rolling reserve requirements and other obstacles businesses face. Such a solution cannot be offered by most payment processors due to limited liquidity. Number 5, building a bank. There are 3 core elements to ensure success when building a bank: capital, technology, and compliance. Bankera's management team has a proven track record in developing optimal synergies between these core elements. Prior to the ICO, Bankera has already developed crucial parts of these 3 elements and already has a minimum viable product. The successful implementation of all 3 product groups will set the foundations for the success of the bank. This philosophy is illustrated in the diagram below. We've got payments, IBANs, got loans and savings, investments, ETFs, with technology, licenses, and capital all being the foundation. Pillars and foundation. Capital. Operating a bank is different from many other businesses because capital is not only required to fund growth and trade cycles, but also for regulatory requirements. In the financial services sector, this regulation is in place to ensure banks have minimal risk of financial distress during economic downturns when there is pressure on the deposit base, more withdrawals than deposits. Therefore, most of the capital raised will be put towards satisfying the capital adequacy requirement ratios that are legislated and obtaining banking licenses in new jurisdictions. For example, if the ICO was to raise €100 million, which on the surface looks like a substantial amount, because of capital adequacy requirements, Bankera could only lend out €500 million, which is considerably lower than an average local bank could have in lending capacity. It would correspond to 2,000 loans for an average loan amount of €250,000. Regulation. Licensing is one of the key assets of financial institutions. Currently, Bankera's management team has obtained a payment institution's PI license and is authorized to operate in all European Economic Area (EEA) regions. Bankera expects to obtain an electronic money institution (EMI) license before the ICO, to have a solid foundation in place to provide the planned services accepting deposits and offering investment products, which will come later. The key milestone to be achieved after the ICO is to upgrade the electronic money license to a banking license in the EU, which would be the necessary licensing requirements to fulfill Bankera's initial vision as set out in this document. Also, Bankera will be obtaining memberships in various key financial networks, such as card schemes and several remittances channels. While Bankera may be able to offer key services to non-EU residents, Bankera plans to seek licenses in markets outside of the EU to offer the best quality service to as many customers as possible. Technology. Traditional banks often describe themselves as technology companies. However, Bankera has a significant advantage with core technology built for the blockchain era. Traditional banks have legacy products such as Swift messaging, SEPA payments, or payment cards at the heart of their technology, which makes these technologies inflexible. In contrast, such products are simply bolt on the item for Bankera and can be disposed of without interrupting core technology. This will make sure that Bankera can remain nimble as modern technologies emerge and old technologies become redundant. Most of the technology required for successful operations for Bankera is already developed and will be ready for testing as a minimum viable product prior to the ICO. The core elements of Bankera's current technology include modules for SWIFT, messaging, SEPA payments, payment cards, integration, Bank's ledger, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, NEM modules, fraud analytics, and more. However, to maintain a competitive edge in a rapidly developing technological market, Bankera will constantly be improving existing infrastructure and developing cutting-edge solutions for the upcoming blockchain era. The graph below shows the technological solutions already available for Bankera and the planned additions. General ledger, SEPA, payment cards, fraud analytics, KYC, mobile wallets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, ERC20. 6. Services to be offered. Bankera is aiming to become a fully fledged digital bank and will offer 3 core lines of services. Payments. Bankera's payment solution will include traditional products such as globally accepted IBAN debit cards and payment processing, but will also extend to solutions for remittances services as a correspondent bank for other financial market participants, to name but a few solutions. To achieve this, Bankera will not only become a regulated European bank, but also will seek to become authorized issuer and acquirer of payment cards and obtain banking licenses in key jurisdictions to avoid dependency on the correspondent bank services, which are extremely fragile nowadays, as identified by the World Bank when they concluded that corresponding banking relationships, CBRs, are declining due to several factors including AML, risk or reduction of risk. Having multiple licenses will allow Bankera to offer instant cross-border transactions, as well as having access to a low currency exchange rates due to direct access to financial markets in multiple jurisdictions because of having these licenses. Bankera's card, which will be available before the ICO, will give an option to spend funds stored at Bankera's wallet practically anywhere where payment cards are accepted. On top of that, all services will be accessed through an easy-to-use, intuitive user interface in more than 20 languages with 24/7 support. Cryptocurrencies. Bankera by default will support most of the cryptocurrencies including Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, including ERC20 tokens, NEM for all its payment-related features. This not only means that Bankera customers will be able to store and exchange these currencies, but they will also be able to keep their balance in accounts linked to payment cards, which will allow users to spend these currencies like traditional money. Bankera will also offer a payment processing solution for all these currencies for merchants currently available at SpectroCoin. New types of money. We see new types of money emerging backed by economic indicators such as gross domestic product or equity traded funds. Bankera is in an excellent position to adopt or create such currencies as they emerge. This is especially the case once Bankera launches investment products, which will have synergies with payment processing solutions, which will allow Bankera to enable these new types of money. Loans and savings. The ability to take deposits and issue loans is at the core of any banking business. However, nowadays, it is difficult to enter the banking industry due to compliance requirements, especially around capital requirements. If Bankera is successful in obtaining the relevant banking licenses, its operations will still be limited by the size of the capital base. Therefore, it is important that Bankera enter the market with sufficient capital to enjoy economies of scale to be able to compete with existing banks. The calculation of capital adequacy ratios requires knowledge about the structure of Tier 1 and Tier 2 capital, as well as the portfolio of bank assets, to be able to calculate the capital size as well as value of risk-weighted assets. To illustrate the limitations imposed by the minimum requirement of the total capital ratio of 8% as proposed by Basel III requirements and the 4th European Capital Requirement Directive, CRD4, regulations, we can assume that Bankera only has capital in the form of common equity. Hence, the total allowed value risk-weighted assets, most of the loans have a weight of 100%, can be calculated as max value of risk-weighted assets equals total capital over minimum total capital ratio equals total capital over 0.08. However, 8% is the minimum capital requirement, and the target capital requirement is around 20%, which is higher than the average total capital ratio of 17% of all banks directly supervised by European Central Bank. As a result, assuming total capital of 100 million euro, the max value of risk-weighted assets or loans with a weight of 100% issued is max value of risk-weighted assets. 100 million euro over 20% equals 500 million euro. The value of 500 million euro assets is equivalent to 2,000 loans, averaging 250,000, which is still small scale compared to existing banks, but a good starting point. Bankera will leverage its technology to offer interest rates even on current account balances. Investments. In the future, Bankera will start offering various investment solutions for individual clients as well as businesses. Initially, low-cost equity-traded funds, ETFs, will be offered for customers. Later, the offer will expand by adding trading, advisory, and brokerage, and custody, wealth management, and other services. Most of the services, such as advisory or wealth management solutions, will be developed in-house based on using the most advanced artificial intelligence technologies. For corporates, Bankera initially will offer treasury services, which will expand to cover most investment banking services required by corporate clients, including deal financing. 7. Financials. We're about halfway through, folks. Bankera's revenue can be assigned to each core group of its products, payments, loans, and deposits, and investment. The payments revenue reflects the revenue from payment processing, card issuance, and foreign exchange. The payments margin for retail customers will be only 0.01 euro on top of costs faced by Bankera. The payments margin for business customers will be only 0.25% and decreasing to 0.1% after 5 years. The average monthly margin per card is expected to be 0.5 euro, which would mainly include interchange fees, fees paid by the card acquirer to the issuer, in this case Bankera, as well as maintenance, issuance, and other fees. The average lending margin, the difference between interest rate paid to depositors and interest rate paid by lenders, after accounting for unpaid loans and other direct costs, will be 0.5%, decreasing to 0.1% within 5 years. The average margin on investment products will be 0.25%, decreasing to 0.1% within 8 years, with the fee mainly being for portfolio management. As a result, Bankera expects 11 million euro revenue in its first year, with stable growth to 500 million euro within 10 years. So here it's showing the total revenue, millions in euro in 2018. As I said, 11 million euro. 2019, it gets a little better. Looks like it triples or 5 times as, can't really tell. Looks about midway through. 2020, it's up above 100 million. And fast forward all the way to 2027, where it's midway between 550 million and 600 million. Most of these costs will consist of wages for 200 employees in the first year, growing to 2,000 employees within 10 years, as well as legal and IT expenses. These estimates are based on the current cost structure for SpectroCoin. Due to a strong foundation, an already operational product and initial client base, Bankera is expected to be profitable from day one. It's a big statement. Profit, 2018, yada yada, it's the same chart. Showing us the same chart a few times here. Earnings oh, this is their expenses chart here. This is their profit chart. So, I mean, yeah, their expenses are relatively low, 5 million compared to their net, which is they project to be 11 million in the first year. So, and that's based off of their current site that they're already running. That's positive. I like that. Initial coin offering, ICO. During the initial coin offering, Bankera as a company will issue virtual currency tokens called Bankers, BNK, on the blockchain operated by a smart contract. Why ICO? There are many arguments why we have chosen to do initial coin offering instead of alternatives ways to raise money. First, an initial coin offering not only allows us to onboard participants from different regions, but also to incentivize them to promote Bankera's products via affiliate commission. Second, tokens provide liquidity since they can be traded on various exchanges after the ICO. Participants can liquidate their position like holding shares in a publicly listed company. Finally, the token's smart contract enables easy distribution of weekly affiliate commission, which would be hard to process without usage of blockchain technology. 8.2 token. Bankers BNK will be issued in exchange for a number of cryptocurrencies based on the smart contract. Token holders will be able to use Bankers to pay for services and products of Bankera at a discounted rate. Also, they will be allocated a commission of 20% of the net transaction fees paid by Bankera and SpectroCoin customers on a weekly basis. Net transaction revenue represents the difference between transaction fees paid by customers less direct costs associated with the transaction. For example, if Bankera's clients exchange 100 million euro to foreign currencies in a week with an average fee of 0.25%, and Bankera faces an average fee of 0.1%, the average net transaction revenue will be 0.15%. Hence, token holders will be allocated 30,000 euro as a commission from foreign currency exchange net fees during that week. Allocated commissions will be distributed via smart contract to holders of Banker tokens. Pre-ICO. During pre-ICO, only 10% of ICO tokens will be issued to finalize the initial version of Bankera before the full ICO. The pre-ICO will be used to determine the hard cap for ICO smart contract. The price of BNK tokens will be 0.01 euro per token. ICO. The price of BNK tokens will depend on the number of tokens issued during the pre-ICO. BMK issued during the pre-ICO, euro bank rate, under 500 million Bankera, it'll be a ICO of 12 cents. 500 to 1 billion, be 13. 1 billion to 1.5 billion, it'll be 14. 1.5 to 2 billion, it'll be 15. And that's where we're at right now. So if you're watching this and you're moving fast, you can go buy Bankera right now at 10 cents on the dollar, or 1 cent on the dollar, and get 1.5 cent on the dollar as soon as the ICO is completed right now. The second it goes up to 2 billion sold during the pre-ICO, which it will, since right now it's at 1.9 and it's got over a month left. I expect this to be sold out by the end of the week, honestly. It's going very fast. Yeah, if we reach 2.5 billion, it's going to be 17 cents in the ICO. You're getting in at 10 cents. That is 70% on your money. Now, granted, the ICO isn't going to be until mid-October, but anyways, I digress. Let's continue with the white paper. I'm liking what I'm seeing is what I'm saying. The hard cap, how many tokens will be issued, will be determined by dividing the number of tokens issued during the pre-ICO by 0.1. Hard cap equals number of pre-ICO tokens over 0.1. There are also going to be soft caps during ICO. so that the price of each token after each chunk of 1 billion Bankera will increase by 0.001 euro. In case not all 30% of ICO tokens will be sold, the remainder will be distributed pro rata to pre-ICO and ICO token holders, i.e. it will mean that 40% of all token supply will shared among participants of pre-ICO and ICO. That's a neat feature. I like that. The rest of the 30% tokens will be distributed during a SCO, secondary coin offering, in the future, but never at a lower price than 0.1 euro per Bankera price. That is concerning, because now they're talking about a secondary ICO coming after, these coins are already trading, but, we can assume that they'll be smart should they offer that and do it at near a market value price. But obviously it will affect the price of Bankera regardless, for good or bad. I would say likely for bad, since it's that's sitting over its head. But I digress. And also that's just my opinion. Okay, so the rest of the 30% tokens, I see secondary ICO. Okay, the 25% of tokens will be attributed to the team as a motivation as well as for bounty program for outsiders. The team part of tokens will be allocated over time. 5% will be attributed to advisors who will advise us for several years until a fully functional bank will be operating. Hence, the total hard cap for pre-ICO and ICO is 10 billion bankers. It's a lot. With 2.5 billion plus 7.5 billion worth 177 million euro, 25 million euro plus the 152 million euro, and at least 750 million euro for the SCO, the secondary coin offering. Tokens allocation. All right, so yeah, that means they're holding the majority of the tokens for a secondary ICO. About 3 times the amount. The tokens will be allocated among participants of the pre-ICO, the full ICO, as well as management and advisors to Bankera. Pre-ICO participants will be allocated 10% of tokens issued. ICO participants will be allocated 30% of all tokens issued. SCO, secondary coin offering, participants will be allocated 30% of all tokens. Management teams and employees will be allocated 25% of all tokens over time as a motivational tool to align the interests with the value of tokens. A part of these tokens will be used as bounties during pre-ICO and ICO. Advisors will receive 5% of all tokens for their insights and contracts to help Bankera succeed. So here's a little breakdown of that. The pre-ICO 10%, which is what we're in right now. The ICO 30%. The SCO another 30%. Management gets 25%. And advisors 5%. So 30, 60, 70% of these tokens are going to be issued to the public at some point. I don't see them. I didn't see them give us a date for the secondary coin offering, so that's interesting, especially considering that it's a significant amount of coins that will be hitting the market afterwards, open to whoever. I think that alone may keep the price down, but we'll see. We'll see. They'll never do it below 10%, and depending on how the market reacts, anyways. If the hard cap will not be reached during ICO, the remaining tokens will be distributed to pre-ICO and ICO participants pro rata. Revenue share. The value of each token will depend on the net transaction revenue commission share paid to token holder each week. The process of net transaction revenue share is explained below. First, 20% of net transaction revenues will be sent to the smart contract every week. Second, the smart contract will distribute funds to holders of Bankera's tokens pro rata to save fuel costs. Token holders will have to claim their referral commission from the smart contract. This means that if a holder has 1% of all outstanding Bankera tokens, he will receive 1% of all net transaction revenue share. Additional benefits: participants of Pre-ICO and ICO contributing more than €1,000 will be eligible to receive Bankera's card and IBAN account for free initially at SpectroCoin. However, some restrictions might apply depending on the country of residence of the participant, as currently Bankera's products are not available globally. Timeline: upon a successful ICO, Bankera's operator will establish banking licenses within the European Union and become an issuing bank for payment cards. Down the track, Bankera's operator will obtain licenses in other key jurisdictions such as the United Kingdom, Japan, China, Singapore, and others. Worth noting, we're not hearing anything about the United States here. In terms of revenue streams, Bankera will initially focus on core banking activities such as lending and payment processing. Following the establishment of EU banking licenses, the next product option that Bankera will produce will be low-cost investment options for clients via EFTs. Eventually, the bank will offer a full range of investment services, including trading, custody, and investment banking services for its clients. Bankera will also offer robo-advisory-based wealth management services for its clients. The preliminary timeline is pre-ICO by the end of August. The launch of the minimum viable product with working IBAN and payment card support by mid-October, the start of ICO preparations by late September, the end of ICO by beginning of November. All right, so it looks like the ICO begins mid-October, and the end of ICO by the beginning of November. So it's going to be running for 2 to 3 weeks, it seems. Bankera will offer advanced payment processing solution by summer 2018, applying for a banking license by autumn 2018, getting banking license in EU by late 2019, starting deposit and lending businesses by mid-2019. Starting deposit and lending businesses by mid-2019 from Bankera's capital. All right, development of infrastructure, IT solutions scheme to issue IBANs and payment cards, etc. Pre-ICO, distribution of 10% of tokens to determine price of the ICO. Beta version launch to offer payment cards, personal IBAN accounts, mobile applications. The ICO to issue 30% of token cards and build a capital base of future expansion. Then the launch of payments processing and cash deposits, development of a network of alternative payment options. On to start of banking operations, beginning to pay interest for customers and offering loans for businesses. Then beginning to offer investment solutions, including low-fee ETFs and baskets of alternative assets such as cryptocurrencies. Introducing new types of money, adding support for central bank-issued digital currencies, as well as developing inflation-linked store of value baskets. So right now, out of all that, what they have completed is development of infrastructure, IT solutions scheme to issue IBANs and payment cards, etc. So yeah, we're really at the very beginning here, folks, the very ground floor of Bankera, but not of SpectroCoin, which is Bankera is being created out of. 10. Team. Bankera has assembled an expert management team with diverse range of skills. These experts include experts in cryptocurrency, banking operations and compliance, blockchain and peer-to-peer technologies, payment processing, artificial intelligence, internet marketing, and economics, politics, and public relations. The management team has already achieved several milestones, including having all the infrastructure in place to operate an electronic money platform with the functionality of unique IBAN codes for customers and payment cards, as well as has managed to obtain a license of payment institution. CEO Vytautas Karalevicius is currently completing a PhD in cryptocurrencies at KU Leuven University in Belgium. Prior to that, he received a MPhil degree in finance from Cambridge University and BA degree in business finance from Durham University. He is currently conducting research on potential of blockchain technology for securities transaction lifestyle for the Swift Institute. Previously, he has worked at Bloomberg London office in management consulting. Mantis Bokevicius, CCO, has more than 8 years experience in managing operations and compliance for electronic and digital money exchanges. He holds a bachelor's degree in economics and master's degree in finance. Justice Dobieliauskas, CTO, has 9 years experience in developing software for medium and large financial institutions, as well as 5 years experience working with blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. He is an expert in P2P technologies and holds a master's degree in information systems security. Craig Grant, VP for Business Development, has experience in the payment processing industry, including 3 years working at Skrill, now a part of PaySafe Group, as a Senior Business Development Manager. Egil Adi Matete, VP of Business Development, has 3+ years of experience in business development in the e-gaming industry. Before entering the corporate world, she worked at the European Parliament. Ruta Sizinauskaite, VP of Marketing, is a B2B and B2C marketing expert with experience in both corporate and governmental sectors. Before coming to Bankera, she has accumulated knowledge in social media, SEO, project management, and sales while working for a startup based in Brussels, U.S. Embassy, and Lithuanian government. Ruta holds a master's degree in strategic public relations from Lund and Stirling Universities. Si Sin Liu, VP for Communication, is an expert in digital marketing, especially for financial services. She's gained her SEO and social media experience while working as a leader of SpectroCoin market. She gained superior knowledge of USA, Taiwan, and Belgian markets while living there. Advisors. Bankera's key asset is knowledge. That is why we have invited top experts in relative fields such as regulation, politics, development of new financial products, finance, machine learning, and statistics, and public relations as members of our advisory board. Lon Wong is president of Nem.io Foundation and CEO of Dragonfly FinTech. A serial entrepreneur with more than 30 years experience, Lon is a blockchain thought leader that heads the Nem blockchain project. He is particularly interested in designing blockchain solutions for the financial industry at large and helped to develop Nem to be a leading financial blockchain solution in the world today. Antas Guoga is a member of European Parliament, a serial entrepreneur, and a well-known poker player. He is actively participating in political discussions regarding cryptocurrencies and cybersecurity. Eva Kaili is a member of European Parliament, a chair of European Parliament's Scientific Foresight Unit, She is highly interested in topics related to financial technology, blockchain, decentralization, and artificial intelligence. So right up Bankera's alley. Modestas Kasilauskas is a tax partner in TaxLink Baltic, correspondent of Mazars. He is particularly interested in the trends of cryptocurrency taxation worldwide and blockchain utilization in taxation and public sector. Modestas has been Director General of the State Tax Inspectorate, STI, in Lithuania, 2005 to 2014. He is consulting medium and large enterprises and its shareholders on tax strategy, risk management, and transparency topics. He also provides support during the tax disputes with the tax authorities and advice on other tax-related matters. Professor Joaquin de Weert is an assistant professor in information systems, data analytics, and business process management at the Faculty of Economics and Business of KU Leuven, Belgium. He is actively involved in research on the topics of process mining, applied data mining, cryptocurrencies, and learning analytics. Mark Kaysenberg is a founder of Bitcoin Chaser. He has been involved in Bitcoin since 2013 and has 18 years experience in online marketing. He is one of the world's largest cryptocurrency affiliates and the founder of the Bitcoin Chaser website and community. Mark has worked with various ICOs and blockchain businesses, is a regular speaker at conferences around the world, and contributor to industry-leading publications. Damon Rashid has been involved in many startup internet businesses. Currently, he is the CEO and founder of Rate Detective, one of Australia's largest financial comparison sites. Damon is also an expert in machine learning and econometrics. Damon has a strong understanding of financial services and internet companies, which make him the perfect addition to Bankera's advisory team. Dr. Eugene Dubosarowski is a leader in the analytics field in Australia, with 20 years commercial data science experience. He is the head of the Sydney Data Science Group, 2,000 plus members, the Sydney users of our forum, 1,500 plus members, and Datapreneurs, 400 plus members. He's regularly invited to be a conference presenter, consultant, and advisor, and appears in print and on television to discuss data science and analytics. Eugene also applies data science in an entrepreneurial setting to financial trading and online startups, and is the sector of G-Graptor in interactive visualization package in R. Warren Lush is a mastermind of public relations in online industries, especially in gambling. He gained his most experience while working as a head of PR at Party Poker. That was worded finally, but anyways. He gained most of his experience while working as a head of PR at Party Poker. Yeah, cool. Let's see here. All right, well, that's it for the white paper. Thanks so much for watching, folks. If you stuck it all the way through, you must be legitimately interested in Bankera or just really like my voice. Either way, thank you. And if you'd like to get involved in the pre-ICO, which appears to be almost maxed out, it was at 1.9 last time I looked at it before I began reading the white paper, head on over to the description box below. I have several links for you guys. If you do click on the Bankera link to take you to the pre-ICO below, that is a referral link. I do get 5%. That's one way that you can show appreciation for me introducing you to it, or at least reading this entire white paper to you. Either way, I do certainly appreciate it, and anything I receive from that 5% referral bonus, I intend on holding for the long term. Since I didn't invest any of that money, then I will be holding it for the long term. As far as what I will be doing with my Bankera when I purchase it, I haven't quite decided yet. I will be making subsequent videos on Bankera with more updates, like when they have achieved, a milestone or something. I'll go ahead and I'll make a video for that and update my subscribers. But yeah, if you do want to go ahead and get in on that pre-ICO, after you click the link to the Bankera site by using that referral link below, click on Try Our MVP and create an account on the SpectroCoin website. And then you can go ahead and send some Bitcoin to the site, or it doesn't have to be Bitcoin, it can be any of many other cryptocurrencies. You can exchange it for the Bankera on that SpectroCoin website, which is an exchange among many other things, as were previously discussed in the white paper. And right now it looks like during the pre-ICO phase you can acquire them for about 1 cent per Bankera. And again, right now the ICO looks to be looks like it's going to end up maxing out, and it was maxing at 17 cents. I believe it was 17 cents. Like if Bankera sells all 2.5 billion tokens prior, they max out their pre-ICO, then they're going to offer the next tokens for the initial coin offering at 17 cents. Okay, so you'll instantly have a 70% gain on your money if you wanted to go ahead and sell it right away. Yeah. Anyways, folks, show me some love in the comments below. Mash the like button, the subscribe button. Tell me which ICOs you're interested in so that I can check them out. Tell me the ones you're most interested in. Leave that in the comments below. Ask any questions you may have about Bankera or any other ICOs, whatever. And thanks again for watching, folks. Have a great rest of your day.